Hey everyone, I'm Kathleen Celmins. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Amplified Now, where we help good people do marketing differently and get out of their own way when it comes to content marketing. And with me, I have Puja. Would you like to introduce yourself and your company?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Puja Shah, and I'm a co-founder here at Namaste.fit. We are a software company, and we've built this amazing and simple tool for yoga instructors. When we started building this platform, we heard tons of different stories and problems about dealing with different technologies and non-tech savvy users struggling to put different pieces of technology together and make it work. So we thought of building something very simple and super easy. So today, yoga teachers who are using our platform are able to build their own branded websites with payment gateways, Zoom, everything integrated in less than 1 hour.
That's a heck of
That's
a
the
promise.
Yes. Yeah, we've managed to do that, and it's all been possible because of the continuous user feedback that we keep getting from our customers, and they are the ones who are helping us build this platform. So, really excited about what else we can do for taking yoga in every home and really making yoga a lifestyle for people around the world.
I love that. I really, as someone who has a daily yoga practice, I do know what you mean. The very best yoga instructors don't need to be technologically savvy. The, they don't need to. That's not how you
It's not
come.
their job.
It's not. It really isn't. Like I had a very great yoga instructor who had you view their website and you're like, oh well, this is terrible, and of course it is, because it's tough to have both of those skills. So is your platform for individual practitioners or studios or both?
I would say both,
Okay.
but more for individual practitioners because I think we found that it's the independent yoga teachers who struggle the most. They don't necessarily have access to web designers, developers, and system integrators who understand what are all the fundamental pieces you need to run a successful online yoga business or just even a basic website these days.
Right. Like
Um,
it doesn't make sense for well, I know I don't know how all studios pay their instructors, but for a lot of studios it's a per class taught fee. And sometimes it's like $50. So if you're making $200, you're not going to spend 5 grand on a website. You can't. I mean, you can, but then how are you ever going to pay off your teacher training?
Right. These are all very specialized skills, and the way we work with technology these days is, it's always changing, it's always evolving. So, even if you really put in your savings and hard earned money into building a website and got those pieces together, firstly, I have yoga teachers telling me who've been working on their website for like almost a year, and once it's ready, it's redundant because things have changed.
Right.
There's new technology you need to integrate. Sometimes the payment gateways that you spend time integrating don't work for all students. They want different methods to pay you. Nowadays, you do need some way to integrate Zoom into the entire workflow as well, because that's the online yoga studio for everybody. So there are a lot of these moving pieces which need to come together, and we are, like I said, being guided by our users. They're telling us what they need, and we're building a platform according to that.
That's so cool. Tell me how you got into this. Has yoga been a part of your life for a long time?
Always, I would say. I was born and raised in India, so it's hard to escape yoga if you really, belong to that part of the world. But yeah, I mean, I also grew up in a very spiritual family. I've been vegetarian all my life, never tasted meat or even egg for that matter. And values of compassion were always imbibed into me as part of my upbringing. In fact, I remember yoga was a subject for me in school. And just
Wow.
like
Like in
that
public
was
school?
Yes.
Wow.
And we used to have the theory exam, the practical exam, and a yoga class once in a week was just so much fun. It was just a way for me at that time to just get away from the class and the boring lecture, and it was about twisting your body in different ways. But as I grew up and as I learned more about it, it became so much more than that. And honestly, I had never thought that uh, practicing yoga online could be as enriching as practicing in person.
Have you changed your mind about that?
Yes, totally. Especially, like, I think throughout the pandemic, something that has helped me and my husband, my family back in India, all of us stay connected and stay sane is yoga. We've
Same
all
here.
been through
Although
so much.
I won't lie, I get such a charge out of a studio class. Like, I believe that live on Zoom is better than the app, but there's something magical about the studio. And so for me, what the pandemic did was made yoga a very much a daily practice for me because I could find it, like I said, there's tiers, right? The app is always available, right? Like yoga is starting any second now. And then some of the virtual classes that I took were, some of it was one-on-one, and so we got to pick what time worked for us, and some of it was like 2 o'clock Pacific time. Okay, I'll join that one. And so I think that's it's a really cool, so very silver lining to quite a dark cloud of what's been happening the last year and a half or so.
And let me ask you this, I know that there's this entire, uh, what do you say, increase in the number of on-demand and pre-recorded videos bundled together as a program and being sold online. But like you just mentioned, the thrill that you get out of a studio-based class, because there's human connection. You look at other people and you learn. So it's a live class that's happening in person. For me, I think the closest to that is a live class that's happening online. But I want to understand, do you get the same thrill and excitement out of an on-demand or a pre-recorded program, which we're just following the practice
No,
online?
absolutely not. In fact, I had a friend who went through teacher training during the pandemic. And so, in order to get her certification, she needed to do a bunch of Zoom classes. And so, I got to do a bunch of those with her. And what I said to her on Zoom was like, I don't know how much of this I've been doing wrong because there's nobody on the other end of the app that tells you, like lower your shoulders, except if it's like programmed to say make sure you lower your shoulders or whatever, or like, like keep your arm back when you're going. I don't do yoga in the office usually. But yeah, how are you finding instructors? How are you currently doing your marketing?
So we do some kind of social media marketing. We do digital advertising on Instagram and Facebook, and then we work with some affiliate partners as well. These are influencers and have their own network and community of people who are practicing yoga, who are yoga enthusiasts, or they are yoga teachers, and they are training young and budding yoga teachers to be yoga teachers. And I think our platform is apt for them. Anyone who's a beginner, does just needs to worry about getting the craft right and focus on all their energy on planning the sequence, planning the class well, and ensuring they have maximum engagement during the class, than having to worry about the tech. It's apt for any who's a beginner. And also, these individuals should be spending most of their time in marketing themselves. So again, we're trying to free up their time to create hundreds of those Instagram
I was just gonna
posts
say
that
to hit
is
record and do
designed.
a sequence and
Yes.
speed it up on Instagram or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are freeing up time for them and getting them to focus on what's best for them, instead of having to work with lots of developers and designers and system integrators to just get that piece right. There's more. You need to first work towards bringing the traffic, and then the system's going to work for you.
When did you launch?
We launched commercially in February, I would say. February next
Okay.
year.
Yeah. So you're like there's still plenty of opportunity for
The
you.
babies.
Yeah, that's awesome. It does sound it sounds like a very much a pandemic thing, but or at least a pandemic thought. But I do think it has legs and will continue to be useful for the rest of time because I don't think, to your point, yoga's getting any less popular. The more people understand the mind body spirit connection, the more people will understand it, and they'll keep, it's a cycle that keeps repeating. Have you? One idea that comes to mind for you guys is to partner up with the online YTT programs because they have a business side of things. So if you could teach a piece of that's the tech, then maybe they can, you can give those teacher training schools a kickback or whatever. They can get a trial or something like that could get those brand new, because that's what it feels like, is it helps the brand new person who's like, I don't even have a yoga Instagram to get set up.
Today, a lot of YTT organizations are more open to the idea of teaching online and even certifying new teachers who are just learning online. I know that pre pandemic they were all too very keen on seeing the person perform on the mat and test that person on whether he or she is good enough to conduct a class in person in studio. But they do realize today that it's not enough to know how to conduct an in-person class. You also need to be good at instructing your remote audiences so that you're able to also get the same benefit as you would give somebody to in the studio. So
Okay, so
yeah.
if somebody is a new yoga instructor, or not even new, but has been working on their website for a little while longer than they should have been, how do they find out more about you? We'll link to all your places below this article.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, our website address is very simple. It's www.namaste.fit. Our social media handles are all Namaste dot fit,
I like it.
and
I like that.
that's where you find us. If you have any direct questions, they can just email me directly at my email address Puja, a short and simple name at Namaste.fit, and I'll be happy to take any questions, walk them through a demo of the platform, or any other questions that they may have.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pooja. This was really, really cool.
Thank you so much.